Who are you gonna call? Not Melissa McCarthy.
Oh my god. Alright guys, welcome back to Through the Glass Table. I'm Everett.
And I'm Ismail.
And today we will be reviewing the most highly anticipated film of 2016, Paul Feig's Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters 2016 is like that delusional aunt whose husband is cheating on her, but she hides it by posting obnoxiously adorable pictures of her and her man on Instagram and making up fanciful tales of romantic getaways, though the truth is she hasn't been digged down since 1985. All her friends and family will see through her ruse, and eventually she will learn to accept the pathetic emptiness that is her life. She will end the unbearable pain by drowning her 3 children in a lake. Then Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, and 2 other SNL rejects will come and do stuff. So before we get into this, you know, we have to address the elephant in the room. This movie...
It's too easy of a job.
Should just do it and get it over with.
Whatever.
He was gonna say Melissa McCarthy. What do you mean, Melissa McCarthy?
When they first kind of like leaked it that it's gonna be an all-female cast, okay, it was bombarded with this whole like, why are you changing, like, why are you switching genders? And it became this whole issue about, well, what makes the movie? Or is it, why can't women do roles like this?
The first reaction was just knuckleheads being knuckleheads and being sexist.
Misogynist, misogynist.
And then that trailer hit, and it became clear that this was a problem beyond that.
We can't even talk about the movie how we really want to talk about it, like
for fear of being labeled as sexist.
Exactly, and it's just,
which is a very sneaky thing, because I think it's a deliberate attempt by Sony to use that to sell the movie, to trick people into liking it, and it's strange. It's one of the strangest instances of bad press that I've ever seen. Let's just get it out the bat. We did not like this movie, but we're gonna take extra care that what we didn't like about the movie had nothing to do about there being women in the film or as leads. This is just a bad movie that's being that's. So I'm gonna make it extreme.
It's hard to talk about this film, isn't it, Everett Walker?
I'm gonna make it extremely clear that we are in no way trashing this movie because we're sexist pigs or we don't like women or whatever reason you want to come up with. It is because it was a bad movie.
But now then people are going to accuse us, why did you have to say that? So we're not going to please everyone, so fuck it. We're not going to please
let's
anyone.
Just get it over. Ismail, what did you think of Ghostbusters 2016?
There was a lot of misses. There was a lot of misses. Like we were talking about Paul Feig's tendency to have reaction shots be what's funny and not have the punchline and just everything like that. So it seemed like he was trying to go for that a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of awkward empty space.
Right.
Where just like, it was supposed to be funny, I guess, but it was just like crickets.
Especially in the beginning. I was like flabbergasted with how much like empty space, like Everett just said, that the characters dialogue were going off of each other. It really didn't feel like, I know these women care about each other, like Offset, like right, Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy, all of them,
and they're very funny women.
Yeah, all of them are very funny
when they have good material.
Beginning scene where they're all together for the very first time, minus Patty, who is played by Leslie Jones. They're riffing off each other, but it's not natural. There's no chemistry whatsoever between them, and you're just hearing dialogue and nothing else. There's no attention to anything. It's just the camera pointing at them.
Not even music.
There's not even any special shot set up, anything. It's just flat.
Yeah.
And it falls flat.
And not deadpan like it's supposed to be. It's just, I don't think there was a joke there. And a lot of times that was happening. And then there were times where the jokes worked. But then they just kept ragging on the joke and explaining the joke. And it was just like, okay, well now you just ruined the moment.
I don't think they knew what kind of movie they wanted to make. I think they just slapped on the logo of Ghostbusters and then, just decided that they were going to figure it out.
As they went along.
Because the history of Ghostbusters, the movie was a fluke. It shouldn't have worked. The original Ghostbusters. But it's heartfelt and there's something in it that's, not in this one. I don't know.
There's no chemistry between them whatsoever, and whatever there is forced. And the reason why Ghostbusters worked so well, the original, is that movie was terrible, really, on paper, but because those people were who they were and were friends and worked together, and they had a synergy between them, that elevated the stupidity that is the Ghostbusters plot and concept. In this one, they gave us talented people who could probably have relationships like those guys did, but they just didn't have the material to play that off.
They've worked together somewhat, but like Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig have done movies together.
They had the most.
Didn't the original, like Dan Aykroyd and what's his name, Harold Ramis, all of them, they kind of grew up from the same sketches and everything. They were
Harold Ramis came from Canada. Harold Ramis came from SCTV, but they was still around the same because SCTV was produced by Lorne Michaels, so they were in the same camp, basically. All
Bill Murray and them, so they all
even Rick Moranis came
stunk.
from even Rick Moranis came from SCTV, so they knew each other. They had been working together for years and years and years.
Okay.
It's similar with these guys, I guess.
But their style is different because Melissa McCarthy comes from what? What does she come like? What
she comes from Paul Feig.
She doesn't come from stand-up comedy or from
she comes from the sitcom.
Kristen Wiig and
she has that Mike and Molly.
Yeah, maybe that's where
it doesn't mesh.
It didn't mesh because they have different skill sets.
Like sometimes when Melissa McCarthy was having her moment in the movie, it felt like a Melissa McCarthy movie where she's, being bumbling and making noises and faces and stuff like that. And then when Kristen Wiig has her moment, she's, doing her little Kristen Wiig faces and stuff. And
or dancing weirdly, but or her character. Do you remember her character in SNL when she was like that woman like ooh.
Oh yeah.
She was, I forgot the name of the woman, but she was running through the window and stuff. She's like, oh. She was like that every time when fucking Chris Hemsworth was on screen with her, like, that was funny. That was funny. Like,
but in the bigger picture of things, they don't fit.
Exactly.
Like weird. The girl who plays, what was her name in the movie?
Holton, the blonde.
The blonde one with the comb over. That's played by Kate McKinnon. I think she is the funniest, most talented person on SNL in this movie.
Right now.
Right now. And for me in this movie, I just didn't understand why she was there. And it just seemed like she was there to have funny faces. And I think she was supposed to be like eccentric, but it didn't come off well. And I was more sad about her not working because I think she's a great talent. She has a great future, and this was not the movie that she should have debuted in. I don't like Leslie Jones. I have a name that I call her that I won't say on this YouTube channel because it's racist. But she is the epitome of Def Jam comedy shit. Like you ever fuck your bitch while your mom was eating fried chicken? Like that kind of funny. I don't like that shit. But in this movie, she was the best character. How did she play that off?
I'm assuming when you mean best character, she was fit in her role a lot better.
She was the most believable character.
She was more comfortable in those shoes.
Exactly.
But then again, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because she's comfortable in the shoes because she's still the stereotypical kind of black woman saying like, ah!
Like I get it, they know about ghosts and all that stuff, but there are scenes where Melissa McCarthy and the others, they don't like get scared or like smiling. The only one who had appropriate emotional responses to whatever was happening in the movie was Leslie Jones, and that's what made me think like, well, at least she's trying to play somebody,
I think it's just bad timing, bad publicity, bad. It's just a bad.
No synergy.
Yeah, it was just all placed together in a blender, and they just pressed go.
Yeah, and I think that's very just. Telling of how movies are made, that you can have as many talented writers as you want, you can have as many talented actors that you want in a movie, you can have all the special effects, but if there's no heart and no synergy running through everybody's veins while you're making that movie, all the way down to the custodians and the cameramen and all that stuff, then it's just not going to work. And that's unfortunately what happened here.
Yeah. Well, I don't have much else to say. I think I'm pretty much done. So overall, what would you rate the movie? Out of 5?
Out of 5, I would give Ghostbusters 2016 a 2 out of 5. It's not terrible. It just didn't work. And I think that's not enough for me to give it like a 0. So I would I'll go 3 out of 5. I'll throw them a bone. 3 out of 5.
I'm going to go with 3 out of 5 as well. Because that's what I was going to say before you damn changed your mind. Now it looks like I'm making this shit up. So it don't even matter. It's not a terrible, terrible movie as some people have said. But it's just not meshing well. And it's just sad. Sad because I love the original stuff. But who knows? Maybe if they do make a sequel, it's going to be like Godfather 2. It's better than the first.
Hopefully not Ghostbusters 2. We don't need another Janusz.
Oh my god. I want to thank you guys for joining us for another episode Through the Glass Table. And as always, we're racist, sexist, and everything else apparently. So, whatever. Who cares? See you guys next time.
Bye.